Scientists have found an invisible star at the Milky Way center, a star that helped our galaxy be born. 26,000 light-years away, in the galactic center, a massive, invisible object started spreading everywhere, and you don't even know that you're breathing it right now. It all started in the 70s, when an astronomer named Vera Rubin was studying the Andromeda Galaxy. She decided to check whether stars move in a predictable way. Now let's say you're spinning a ball on a string around yourself. The closer the ball is to you, the faster it moves in a tight circle. But if you let the string out longer, the ball moves more slowly in a bigger loop. That's how gravity works. And the same goes for planets. The closer ones, like Mercury, zoom around quickly, completing their orbits in months. The far ones, like Neptune and Saturn, take their time, decades, to make one rotation. The stars themselves should orbit the centers of their galaxies the same way. The closer ones move fast, the farther ones are slower, right? But when Vera measured the speeds, she saw something impossible. They weren't slowing down. The faraway stars were moving just as fast as the ones near the center. By all logic, the galaxies should have torn themselves apart, but they didn't. And that meant something was holding them together, something undetectable. Some massive, invisible object in the galactic center warping reality without ever revealing itself. So she checked over and over with different galaxies. This wasn't a fluke, it was happening everywhere. Rubin had accidentally uncovered proof that galaxies were drowning in something far heavier than all the stars, planets, and gas in our entire universe combined. It was holding us with ghostly hands. Astronomers called it dark matter because it doesn't glow, doesn't reflect light, doesn't seem to interact with anything at all. It's just there. But all the calculations show us that it exists, and not merely exists, but makes up 85% of all the mass in the universe. We know that it sculpted galaxies. Without it, the world as we know it wouldn't exist. And yet, just like with an invisible star scientists found at the Milky Way center, the only way to detect it was through gravity. So how do you find something that refuses to be found? Recently, scientists discovered there might be an invisible star at the Milky Way center, and this fascinating discovery might finally help us understand what dark matter looks like. They began looking for dark matter's fingerprints, any signs of its presence anywhere. They studied how galaxies moved and smashed particles together in giant machines, hoping to create tiny bits of dark matter in the lab. This didn't really lead to anything. They didn't even know what to look for. Is dark matter even made of particles? There was a theory that suggested that it's made of ghostly particles that barely touch anything, or even weirder ones that might flicker in and out of existence in the blink of an eye. There was a problem, though. If dark matter really worked like that, then the centers of galaxies should be packed tight. Tons of matter would be crammed into a tiny space. But in our universe, galactic cores seem strangely soft, spread out, almost gentle. A new theory emerged, and it was wild. What if the dark matter at the heart of galaxies isn't made of heavy particles at all? What if it's made of something so delicate that it behaves more like a strand of hair? These hairs could be made of something incredibly light, lighter than anything we've ever seen, and billions of times smaller than a neutrino, which is already the lightest known particle. They called this idea fuzzy dark matter, and it might change everything we thought we knew about the universe. A team of astrophysicists wanted to test this idea, so they ran a simulation, creating a simple model of a galaxy with two main ingredients: a whole lot of fuzzy dark matter and a little bit of gas, the same kind of gas that forms the stars we can see. They pressed start and just let the system evolve by itself, watching how the two would interact. At first everything was pure chaos, but then the fuzzy dark matter started to gather. It pulled itself together, forming a massive, invisible object near a galactic center. The gas followed, spreading throughout this ghostly mass, mixing with it and glowing faintly. And then, it suddenly formed something incredible: dark stars. Not typical stars like our sun, blazing with heat and light. Instead, It's enormous, massive, invisible objects, a hybrid of two different kinds of matter. We've never seen anything like this before. An object that would stretch across thousands of light years, and yet they'd be almost weightless, more like cosmic puffy clouds than anything else. Scientists called them Fermion boson stars. Finally, this dark matter thing is starting to make sense. The core of this strange invisible star would have just the right density, not too dense, not too loose. And it looked exactly like what astronomers actually see in real galaxies. If it's confirmed, then it would finally explain how dark matter behaves and works. And if they're right, then every galaxy in the universe could be tied to one of those vast unseen giants. The Milky Way hidden star might be one of them, shaping our galaxy in ways we never realized. What's wild is that this stuff wouldn't behave like normal matter. It wouldn't form anything solid. Instead, it would be more like a complex, ever-moving web of filaments or hairs. This also means that Earth might be completely surrounded by it. Dark matter still follows the rules of gravity. As it moves past planets and stars, gravity pulls it into focused streams, so it's both hugging and passing through our planet, wobbling consistently. If we could see them, they might look like glowing invisible threads everywhere, and they'd pierce right through the planet, stretching far into space. But this is only the beginning. Now scientists need to refine their models, make them even more detailed, and compare their predictions to real galaxies. But this dark star discovery in the galaxy's center isn't our only clue. Luckily, the universe has given us a way to look for that fingerprint – gravitational lensing. When light from a faraway galaxy travels toward us, it sometimes passes by another massive galaxy on the way, or other massive objects with crazy gravity. Instead of continuing in a straight stream, light actually gets bent around the massive object because of that gravity. And when it finally reaches us, it creates a distorted and magnified version of the original galaxy. Basically, it's like looking through a piece of curved glass. If dark matter is fuzzy, then it should leave a strange pattern on these distorted images. Things should be a bit wavy and unclear. Scientists needed the perfect object to study this, and they found one. A faraway galaxy whose light was bent by gravity, creating a strange stretched-out image. They used super-powerful radio telescopes, connected them all over the world, and turned them into one giant telescope as big as the Earth itself. With this, they could zoom in so much that they could see details of that galaxy as tiny as a grain of sand on the moon. Then they ran a huge experiment. They created their own fake versions of this picture, simulations with various sizes of fuzzy dark matter particles. And at a certain point, they found the perfect match. This helped us calculate the exact mass of dark matter particles before we even detected them. And the clues are leading us right to our own galaxy. It seems like densest parts of these hairs, the roots, might be super close in the cosmic scale, just tens of thousands of miles from Earth. That's close enough for a space probe to reach. Now that scientists have found this invisible star at the Milky Way center, we just need to study it up close, send a mission to one of these roots, and then we might finally crack the greatest space mystery of all. That's it for today. So hey, if you pacified your curiosity, then give the video a like and share it with your friends. Or if you want more, just click on these videos and stay on the bright side.